Don't put your number. Don't put your number.
I'm not putting my number. I'm putting your number.
That's my room.
Okay, put my number.
I'm hungry.
Okay, well, don't be such a baby. I cooked you some bacon for a trail snack.
I ate it already.
What flavor coffee is that? Up dog?
What's that?
I don't know. Nothing. What's up with you?
It's the Al Travis Show. We're lucky to have our next guest, and she is Heather Dugan. Heather, how are you doing?
I am well, Al. Yourself?
Very good. Would like to say thank you very much for the card that you sent for my dad's funeral. That was really nice. I do appreciate it. I really do.
Oh, sure.
I think going through that, you find some weird stuff. And I have new rules in my life. I love making rules because it's easy to follow.
It is.
Really cool friends showed. I mean, those that were around here, cards, that sort of thing. And I thought to myself, because we also had some politicians get shot up. You might have heard that up in Minnesota.
Right.
You're right. And so that funeral was this weekend as well. And the vice president, the president showed up. And it set me off a little bit in that it seemed a little political to me, which I was upset about for the family. But if they're happy, what do I care? But what I thought about was, how do you decide if you go to a funeral or not?
Yeah.
Here's my rule
I
of
want to
thumb.
hear it. Okay.
If you ever thought you would or could be invited to Independence Day, an Independence Day party, a 4th of July party, then you're close enough to go to the funeral.
Okay.
Right? Not all friends will go, but hey, you're friendly enough, you can go. Obviously, relatives can come. I think that's my measuring stick. Is that weird?
No, I think everybody has a different level of what they expect or hope or want out of something like that.
Can you just answer the question? Is that not the best rule of thumb? If somebody passes in the paper, you go, "Oh, I knew them." Okay. Would you go to their birthday party? Would you ever go to? Probably not. Well, then you don't go to the funeral, do you?
But okay, say then you get into connection. Well, it's connection to family, right? So if you have a connection to anyone in the family and you think maybe you should, I would rather go and just hang on the periphery than not go if I thought it was something that would be potentially meaningful. And if you're just going to go and be a weight, obviously you don't believe there. If you have something to contribute, like just one nice little memory. Can you give them a memory? That's what I would say. Instead of 4th of July, I would say, can you give them a memory? You may not even have a moment to share it, but if you have a connection that way where somebody impacted your life.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
I just looked at the folks that surprised me that showed up. I mean, you expect the family to be there for heaven's sake. A couple close friends. So there's others that showed up. I'm like, well, that's really nice. And then I think, wow, I'd go to your funeral or your dad's funeral. It was really,
I like that.
Yeah. So I just like it. If you thought you'd ever be invited over, then you're good enough to go.
So it's a positive. It's a positive.
Oh yeah, it was all positive. Absolutely. No, because when do you feel obligated? You say, I see people in the paper. Oh, I know her through her child, but I haven't talked to them in 25 years. Do I go and say if I haven't anything to contribute, then I don't go.
Well, you know what? If you think maybe, I always, like I say, I just think it means a lot to people to find out that other people connected with this person as well. That's where I come down to. That means something to the family. And so therefore, if you can share that, I think that's meaningful. And that's what life is, right?
I think we're agreeing on this. You bet. Because again, I think funerals, they're not for the person who passed. They're for the rest of us to do
exactly.
that. So, all right. Let me ask you this. Is 4th of July your jam? Are you a big Independence Day party goer?
I am not as much of the party goer as I like. And before we talked briefly about. So after a certain point, you're like, oh, I've done that a few times. I'm ready for this, that, or the other. I do something with a bunch of friends on a rooftop on the big city bash night. Which if my friends weren't doing it and it wasn't easy parking with people, I wouldn't be there. But it's basically hang out on a rooftop and you get the best view, and then you can drive out easy. The more. I love our local stuff just as much. And our local stuff, I'll have kids here and we'll walk to the fireworks. We will walk through a parade and a big, there's band music festival, that kind of thing. That kind of stuff is nice to me. I like walking. You don't have to park.
Well, yeah, no. Ours, the city in My Blue Earth will do it. Always does it the weekend after the 4th of July because they don't want to compete with the big cities. Right. And I'll give you kudos right out here. The bank of the cable company, they put the money together. We have as good a fireworks show as anybody does. It's 25, 30 minutes of just the best. They are fantastic at it. It's a big highlight, and like you say, then the rest is that small town stuff. It's dancing up under the green giant, the big statue we have. They have a dance there for the kids, and there's basketball tournaments, and then there's the parade, and we do everything as hokey as you can get. I love Independence Day.
Fun. I love parades where they still throw candy. I do.
We still do that here.
If I can find a Tootsie Roll in the gutter and it's wrapped, I'm on it.
That's fantastic. I think it is frowned upon anymore, but there are still some that will do it, and no one seems to care because the kids love it. Yeah, that's what it is. All right. My quick 4th of July. Back when the kids were younger, my 3 boys, I started getting we aren't allowed to have them shooting up there. We're in Minnesota, so it's what you can buy at Walmart is what you can get. Okay. And I'd buy the biggest boxes I could, and I'd invite all the neighbor kids. We're coming out this time. Bring your parents. Everybody kind of brought a little something. We'd have the hot dogs, the standard stuff. I had this circle of death painted around my backyard so the kids couldn't you couldn't go inside there because that's where the fireworks are going off. Right. And as they each turned 13 every year, they got to then help Al and the dad light the fireworks. It became this rite of passage. We had so much. I got to the point. I should tell a story quick. I decided one year, got to make it better every year. You buy more fireworks. I said, we're going to have a parade. So I told all the kids, we're going to have a parade. Get yourself ready. Independence Day, red, white, blue. Get yourself all ready. It's going to be huge. And I'm talking to all these kids and like, whatever, Al. No, it's going to be huge. It's going to be police department, fire department. It's going to be huge. So I called the police department and fire. I probably shouldn't share this. I called them and I said, hey, I got this thing. I got the kids. I want to throw just right around my block. 1 block around, let the kids be in this thing. And the cop the first year goes, we ain't doing nothing. We'll be there. And this cop shows up 10 minutes before, opens the car up. All the kids got their pictures with handcuffs on, sitting in the back seat. And then they led the sirens going around. What we didn't realize is because he didn't advertise it, right? So it's literally just us parents, and there's the parade's going off. No one's going to see him. So we run to the next corner, get there, run to the next corner, run. So we're yelling and cheering at them, sweating like nobody's business got done. I said, oh, man, should we do that again? The next year I called the fire department and said, the police department did this for me, and I really could use it. No kidding. They took the new guys, the freshman firemen, and there was no fire. So they come out with this huge fire truck. The policeman came back the next year, and then we had Carl Camp, the greatest neighbor of all time. Great guy, lived next door to me. I said, I need a, what do you call it, marshal, a parade marshal?
Parade marshal, gotcha.
Yes. So he had a cool kid living next door with this beat-up old truck, and he was 18, 19, said, hey, I need you to drive Carl Camp around in your truck. He went out and got a lazy boy sofa out of his house, put in the back seat. We got Carl up there. He was the parade marshal, and then a fire truck, and then the kids, and then the thing. I enjoy the Independence Day thing. We haven't done that for years, but there's memories. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, well, and I'm thinking, how would you update it for Al now? I mean, Al would be on his little camp chair with a cigar in the truck.
If we are going to do this, and it's too late to put it together, so I'll say that.
Right.
If we're going to do that, who are the guys with the fez hats that run the little go-karts?
The Shriners. The Shriners, right? Yeah.
I would do grown-up Al Shriner stuff. We have a lot of folks with golf carts around town that kind of zip around. I'd ask them all to get together, and we do bobbing and weaving. I could smoke my cigar and do that's what I would do if it was today's Al.
Anybody hear this? You can start a year ahead. Just putting little ideas in Al's head.
Kids are graduated. They're gone. We have not done 4th of July in years, but that you put a smile on my face. Thank you. That's some memories I hadn't thought about. And I would do the Shriner thing. All with fedora hats, driving golf carts. That's what
I like it. And what's at the finish line, Al? You got to have a finish line for this.
Well, the finish line's like everything else. We'd have the picnic tables out. All the ladies brought something to eat. We had the barbecue grill going. There were a couple of cocktails when it was done. And the kids ran around going after fireflies. And it really was Americana for me. It's probably my best memories.
I think you might need to think about that for next year. Put a little corn on the cob in there, and I'm there. I mean,
we have the best corn on the cob here.
Best. Wow. Yeah. Oh, gosh. This is breakfast time, and here we are talking about corn on the cob. But, it's good.
It's good for every meal.
It it is. It is.
We got to go to break. I did have stuff to chat with you about. At least
Oh, okay.
one.
Okay. All right.
A guy got married and didn't know he was married. We'll talk about that after this with
I
Heather
like-
Dugan,
that's
our
interesting.
relationship expert.
Tired of one-sided media and divisive noise drowning out your conservative values? Take back the conversation with Braver Angels. Join a grassroots movement to restore civility and find common ground without compromising your principles. As a conservative, your voice matters. Share your perspective on issues like immigration and public health in Red Blue workshops and help rebuild trust in our great nation. Be a leader in depolarizing America. Sign up for free at mn.braverangels.org. Braver Angels, where conservatives, liberals, and independents unite for a stronger republic.
Think about it. Now that school's out for the summer, how are Minnesota students doing? Not very well. Minnesota ACT scores fell again last year and are the lowest they've been in 10 years. In fact, fewer than half of Minnesota students can either read or do math at grade level. Think about it. We used to brag about our schools. Now we're losing to states like Mississippi. Visit AmericanExperiment.org for more information. Think About It is brought to you by Center of the American Experiment, Minnesota's think tank.
The Al Travis Show, the last place you can go and hear all sides. Respectful, thoughtful, and grateful.
And we've got our Heather Dugan on with us. She wrote the Friendship Upgrade. That, of course, is how to handle things. What? What are you
I was
say?
going to say, and date like a grown-up. Some people are in that space.
There you go. But you know, you've talked to plenty of folks about how to handle being single in the digital age. That's
Sure.
I would love to hear what you got to say about this. A guy from, where was he? Beverly Hills, Texas, discovered he was legally married despite never showing up or knowing about the wedding. According to the police, the man received a package from his ex-girlfriend containing an official marriage certificate, which he allegedly had certified by a pastor. The two were in a previous relationship, obtained a marriage license, but he broke it up ahead of the wedding. She kept the paperwork, talked a pastor into signing it, and they're married.
Was the pastor a relative? Like
Well, see, and
Daddy?
well, you can get your like pastor's license online for like $75 bucks. You
Right.
find one of those guys.
Do it,
I don't remember because I'm maybe a little drunk at the time. Just kidding, wife. Don't you all have to sign the certificate with
You
the
have-
pastor and the groom and the best man and stuff? I remember doing
there's
that.
a legal requirement too. There used to be a blood test, right, or something.
Back in the day, they don't do that anymore.
Don't do it, okay. But you have to. Don't you have to have? I mean, you have to go to the courthouse and get it ahead of time in order
Yeah,
to
get a license through the state.
ceremony is kind
Yes.
of the rite within
Yes.
the faith. But he's married in the eyes of his church, perhaps, but not the state of Texas.
No, as I get it, they went and got the marriage license. You go to the state of
Okay.
Texas, you get a marriage license. It's not official until you go to the
Okay.
ceremony. You, your wife, the breast band, and the bridesmaid and the
Yeah.
pastor sign it. Now we're all there. We swore to it. He
Yeah.
didn't show up to the wedding. He said, "We're done. You're nuts. You're fruitcake. We're done."
Yeah, yeah.
So she hung on to it and got it signed. And
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
The woman
She
has
must-
since been arrested for felony stalking charges. No kidding. You Fruit Loop. How weird is
I
that?
wonder how many years she was waiting for her moment. She was probably waiting until she could find the right gown on sale, and then it was like, this is it. We're going,
This
I look
this
good.
is crazy forever though. Let's just
it
say
is.
bad judgment, and she just feels sorry for it. 2
Yeah.
years from now, she meets Mr. Right, and they're discussing. And have you ever been married before?
Well, are we
yeah.
counting the ones that I didn't get?
The one I
arrested
did
for?
illegally,
Yeah.
and you are a stalker now the rest of your life. You could
Yeah.
never have a serious relationship because as
This-
soon as someone finds this out, if they're not
yeah.
running, they're crazy too.
Well, it's not a whim thing, is it? There's a lot of it's more than premeditation. It's
She
planning,
thought
it's-
that bad boy
yeah,
through.
she sure did.
Absolutely.
I want to know what the guy's secret is, to be so well. You said stalking, and that's the truth. This is a obsessive thing.
He
isn't
figured out
because
she was a nut job. This is what what do they call them? Bridezillas. You know that when they're going to get married, she kept acting weirder and weirder. He's like, I'm out, man. I'm done.
Usually they do that to everybody else in the wedding party, to do it to the groom. Man, the groom that didn't even want to be a groom. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. This poor guy. You
Yeah.
get this in the mail that you're married now. You think
Yeah.
you think you escaped a close encounter by getting away from this gal. Now you're married to her.
Yeah, which is worse, that or a letter from the IRS? I don't know. I mean, it's a toss-up, right?
And now is he
that's
able to
scary.
tell people I'm have you ever been married? No. Does he have to go through this cray story every time some lady asks? Oh, he's divorced, Mom.
There's
What
a
do you mean
few
he's divorced?
qualifiers. Yes.
This hurts everybody.
You need a wingman anytime he goes out from here on to do the explaining, because from him, no one's going to believe it. Right.
Well, that's exactly right. You need your brother next to you. He's like, no, we were there. She was a nut
Yeah.
job, and she did this to him, and yada yada. I don't.
Yeah.
And how do you prove it? He calls the cops, and he has to prove there was no wedding. I wasn't there. I didn't show somebody who was there. How do you prove to the cops you're
Is there
not
a
married?
picture anywhere? I mean, and who does a wedding anymore without at least a picture on a cell phone somewhere, right?
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
So yeah, her case was poor to begin with. He obviously.
That's just
Yeah. That's good, Al. That's good.
okay, Heather. You're talking.
Texas.
This is your best friend. Okay, you just have your best friend pulls this off. What are you telling her? Let's just say Kim's her name. I don't want her name. But Kim.
Yeah.
What are you telling Kim?
Oh, sorry, Kim. Kim just got married. She's a good friend. But the right
is that
way.
really a name I
But
picked?
the right way. She just
Oh,
got
I'm
married
sorry.
the right way.
I just
That's
threw a
fine.
name out.
Kim,
Let's go
apologies.
let's go with
Steve,
Kathy.
It was
Kathy,
normal, I promise. Go ahead. No, but
Okay,
yeah,
Kathy
Kim,
comes to you, and this is-
if Kim did something, yeah, you would. Absolutely friend intervention on that. That's terrible. Yeah, that's somebody that is not living with both feet in this reality.
What did she
They're
think
living
was
on what? Go ahead.
What did she think was going to happen when she sent the marriage certificate to him saying, see, we did get married? He's like, wow, I messed up. Let's move in together. Let's have some children.
Yeah.
I mean, what did she think the outcome of that bad boy was going to be?
This is a good question. And that is the question you would hopefully ask before she sent this in the mail, right? That's what a good friend would do.
Sanity would say.
Best
If I was
outcome,
sane,
worst come. Yeah. Uh-huh.
she's not got it. All right. Here's what I need to do. How do I get people to get your book and get on your website so they can get you to come out and talk to them
Yes.
in their organization? What do we got to do?
you need to go to heatherdugan.com or find me on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, talk to Al, joking. I wasn't need a million phone calls from people, but heatherdugan.com, I have email, I have all that. So, and I'm happy to come chat with your group, big or small. And, connection's important. It's what we live off of. And whether it's romantic, corporate, or one-to-one,
I just want to say I appreciate you coming and doing the show. I really appreciated the card this weekend. Thank you for being there. Appreciate
yes.
you. All right.
Yes, Al. Appreciate
we'll be in touch.
Too.
We'll do it again in a couple of weeks.
Right.
Heather Dugan. heatherdugan.com.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests